Looks like they're getting ready. The cockpit open as we speak. It'll be the first time Nielsen has hit the water today. Again, we're going to have some more H1 Unlimited testing. So we're still here waiting, folks. But again, everything looks good. We're just trying to get ready for H1 Unlimited hydroplane testing.
Here at the Super Shine Webb and Mary Heights Memorial Judges Stand is our winner of GPA Heat 1B from Bear, Delaware, Brandon Kennedy. Congratulations.
This 240 made a lot of good strides there last weekend. What's he going to do on just keep learning, keep getting better. So this will be the first weekend and good starting point for us. Just see how we can make it better all the way through Sunday afternoon.
Have you driven an Unlimited here in Madison before?
I have. So I think it was 2014. Actually won my first Unlimited Heat here. So also drove the Grand Prix here quite a few times, so relatively familiar with the river, but never gone under the bridge, so this will be fun. First time going under the bridge, and looking forward to it.
What is something fans should know about you?
Me? Maybe quiet, but I'm real competitive, so just love to compete, love being part of a team, whether it's baseball, boat racing, whatever it is. But always love to compete.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
H1 Unlimited officials, the course is green for H1 Unlimited Hydroplane testing, and I just found out as well, possibly, an extra added treat will end the day today with the vintage U36 Miss US4 with a stock Allison.
Oh my. The old school boat there, Jeff Ayler. I guess we'll have to wait and see if we are able to do that. We're looking on our monitor here. They're trying to get the J&Ds up and going. I talked to Charlie Grooms, president of Miss Madison, team manager for Miss Madison. He said they're planning on getting out there again as well. So looks like we could have some more boats here. We'll see how many of them try to take advantage of this testing period.
Watching our feed provided by Tate and Jared Meyer with H1 Unlimited via YouTube, we see the J&Ds in the water. Jamie Nielsen, now the lid is closed on the U11 J&D, so we'll see Jamie Nielsen out here in a matter of moments. In the Chartreuse and Royal Blue, that color was named, by the way, last week by a hydro fan, 10 years old, out of Santa Barbara, California, by the name of Colton Pierce. So it's the Chartreuse, the Royal Blue, but they still got the Carnival Orange on that lightning bolt, a little bit on that vertical. Perfect timing. He's going out on the track. Jamie Nielsen out of Gig Harbor, Washington.
First time we've seen Jamie Nielsen here this week. That is a beautiful looking boat. Again, the Chartreuse colors on that boat. A big thanks to that young man for naming it. But we are excited to see Shannon Rainey's boat out on the race course once again as Jamie Nielsen, who took over the J&Ds back in 2019. A third place finish at Seattle in 2019. We will wait and see. This is the former Budweiser two-wing hull. It raced as the Miss Budweiser back here in 1995 when Mark Evans drove the Miss Budweiser that day. That day, Budweiser, he dominated all day. He was having issues with the back part of its boat all day that day. It actually ended up getting, I think, disqualified early in the final heat. That, of course, won by Smokin' Joe's back in 95.
They'd won all three preliminary heats that day, and Jordan, I'll take the J&Ds on up into the turn and down the front chute, but Mark finished sixth that day. It was falling apart toward the end. That was that experimental two-wing boat, and the Ohio River beat and battered the T4 Miss Budweiser, but Mark Evans did win those three preliminary heats, but had trouble in the final, finishing in the sixth position. Final testing session of the day. Here at day number 2 of the 2021 Madison Regatta APBA Gold Cup presented by Nucor of Madison. Jamie Nielsen on the racetrack for the first time here on the Super Shine Wild Bill Cantrell Memorial Racecourse. It is a gorgeous craft. Scott and Shannon Rainey are the craft owners out of Cle Elum, Washington, east of Seattle. As Jamie Nielsen works into turn number 1, you can tell, Jordan, visually there's a lot left. First time out for this boat, puts it on the hook. Nice arc through the turn, off the corner. There he is.
There he is indeed as he comes down the Trimble County side of the Super Shine Wild Bill Cantrell Memorial Racecourse. And Jamie Nielsen, that boat looks awfully smooth, keeping it down on the water. This is a rough river. I've talked to a couple drivers already, but Nielsen appears to be very, very comfortable in that cockpit today as he hits the entrance pin of turn number 2, Jeff Ayler.
Jamie Nielsen at the bridge turn underneath the Milton-Madison Bridge, swinging outside about a lane 3.5 sequence here on the Ohio River underneath the bridge. We'll get a lap time for you. I think it'll be in the 1:30s, and we'll get an idea how fast he is traveling here on this 2.5-mile race course on this late Saturday afternoon at the Gold Cup. Nielsen into the turn. 135, 554, 135, 554.
Nice speed there for Jamie Nielsen. He's definitely keeping his foot on the gas pedal here, trying to up that speed here into the second lap of this test session. Again, the first time the J&Ds has been on the race course here. And Nielsen gets ready to head back under the Milton-Madison Bridge once again. And he hits the entrance pin of turn number 2 to bring it down the front stretch, Jeff Ayler.
Working at the apex of turn number 2. When we mention apex, that is mid-turn. Tight turns here in Madison. During testing and qualifying, we see the drivers usually swinging outside, keeping the RPMs up, keeping the boat up off the water, but a beautiful sight as he approaches the start-finish line buoy. The Chartreuse and Royal Blue J&Ds will reach down, see if we can get a lap time here on lap number 2. This is testing only for H1 Unlimited.
Nielsen getting ready to take it back onto the backstretch, trying to wait to get his speed here. Jeff is listening to the H1 radio right now. Looks like Nielsen backing off a little bit, whether he's slowing down for good or if he's just timing it out. Jeff, we got a speed, don't we?
Nice time. That was sneaky fast by my eye. 144.448 miles per hour. 144.448 for Jamie Nielsen. In U11 J&D's, Jordan, you see he has slowed up in turn number 2. I've got my secondary watch out. We'll see if he elects to make a timing run this time as he works through turn number 2.
Looks like he's picking up his speed a little bit, Jeff. Maybe a little.
I'm going to go ahead and start it. Looks like the tail rose right off the exit pin of turn number 2. Generally 17 seconds off that turn to the start-finish line buoy. Jamie Nielsen, J&D's. And Jordan, the time, 17 seconds.
17 seconds. Is that from the apex, Jeff?
From the exit pin.
From the exit pin, okay. So there's something to be aware of when you're watching that clock tomorrow. Be aware of that when they are getting ready, because again, you jump that line early in a race, it is a 1-lap penalty. Nielsen coming again down the back stretch. We'll see. He's again taking off the power there. We'll see if he will bring it into the pit area. Speaking of the pit area, we see the U1 Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street. Jimmy Shane in the water for another testing session here momentarily. Let's see if Nielsen will bring it home. It looks like he's going to cut into the Grand Prix course, Jeff, to bring it in.
Thank you, Jordan. Jamie Nielsen, you see, cutting through turn number 2 of our Grand Prix America course. And boy, just such a gorgeous boat. T4 Miss Budweiser back in the H1 Unlimited Hydroplane Series Wars. Craft was at the Southern Cup at last weekend's race at Lake Guntersville, Alabama. They struggled early on Saturday and then picked things up, and the boat looks good here. Nice lap there of 144.448 miles per hour. So Jamie Nielsen coming back into the pit area. One local crewman on that boat, Travis Johnson, living out near Kent, Indiana. He has helped the 11 team for many years, and when you talk hydro fever, that's Travis Johnson. He loves it.
And to me, the fact that we have we have multiple local people that want to help with hydroplane racing, and not just with the Miss Madison team, but other boats as well. And the fact that he's been with it for so many years, that's really, really special. And again, I'm sorry, I'm mesmerized by how beautiful that boat is, Jeff. And Jamie Nielsen out on the side right sponson as he brings that into the pit area. Again, the U1 Miss Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street. Jimmy Shane is in the water right now. I saw him get lowered into the water just a minute ago, right before the J&Ds went out. So we will likely see the U1 into the race course here momentarily. We'll see if any other H1 hulls want any more testing done. Again, this is the final testing period of the day.
We see in the backdrop from our video courtesy of H1 Unlimited via YouTube, Jamie Nielsen standing on the craft of the J&Ds. You see in the background, the Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street is in the water, like you mentioned, Jordan. Hopefully our H1 Unlimited video team might switch camera angles, get an idea, a little bit better look of how things are shaping up at the west end of the pit area for the number 1. And there we're on cue, and you see the lid is still open on the U1. Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street.
And we just saw a picture of it indeed. And green flag is up, I was just heard, so looks like we are just about ready to go. They are getting ready to probably slam that cockpit, folks. Are you ready to see your hometown boat, Jimmy Shane, once again on the race course?
Right now, Jordan, it appears our qualifying session will take place tomorrow. We'll get our racing officials from Madison Regatta, H1 Unlimited, and of course Grand Prix America
Before you went out, you told us that you'd never driven under the bridge before. What do you see from the boat driving under the bridge?
Oh, it's pretty cool. So it's a long ways up the river, but the sun setting down there in turn one makes it a little challenging trying to spot the entrance to turn one coming from under the bridge. But it's cool. You get to drive through the big shadow under there and go past the pillars. So it's a fun experience. I can check that one off my bucket list.
Awesome. Jamie, you've driven GPs here, you said. How does driving a GP compare to driving an Unlimited?
Oh, they're just two totally different animals. I mean, there's some similarities, but there's just a lot of differences. The boat's twice as heavy and a lot faster, so it's almost like a big freight train going down the rails. The Unlimited is, and there's nothing like it. But, the Grand Prix are lighter and quicker, a lot more acceleration, but there's nothing like going through a corner in an Unlimited.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie.
Awesome. Thank you.
Livery stable here on Broadway Street in Madison. Jordan also too, we recognize 70 years of Madison Regatta Incorporated in the modern era with the Indiana Governor's Cup, and of course 50 years to the day tomorrow when Jim McCormick won here on home waters aboard U6 Miss Madison in front of the cameras of ABC's Wide World of Sports.
And I know several people that were there. I know my superior officer, Timmy T, was sitting in the pit area watching Jim McCormick win that Gold Cup. I know you were here as well. What a special day that was back in 1971.
I was right back here at the old restaurant stand, now the ice cream shop, and boy, what a day it was in 1971 on July 4th. And we come back 50 years later, July 4th, 2021. The Gold Cup is back in Madison, and it will be contested. We will have a winner tomorrow.
Jimmy Shane getting ready to come down and complete his first lap. Jeff Ayler looks like he's getting up to speed a little bit. Again, probably timing out a little bit.
Jimmy Shane by the start-finish line buoy, and it looks like he's got some good momentum entering turn number one, working a lane one sequence. Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street into turn number one, keeping it off the buoy roll a little bit there. Out. Oh, and did he slow? Yeah, he slowed a little bit down there. I thought he was going to go through that corner with a little bit more oomph. But Jordan, he's off the turn, but still running.
Still running, and you almost wonder if he's timing it a little bit here because he knows how fast his boat can be. He's had the fastest lap so far today. So you wonder if maybe he's doing a little bit of time trials as he heads up the backstretch here. Again, slowing it down a little bit. Again, about 17 seconds from the exit pin of turn two is what you want. So you have to wonder if that is what he will work on as he gets ready to go back under the Milton Madison Bridge. Again, Shane slowing up here. Let's see if he picks it up a little bit. And Jeff, it looks like he's still keeping the same speed, but I have a feeling that's about to change, and it just did.
I just started my watch. He picked the tail right up there at the Milton Madison Bridge on the Kentucky shoreline. And I'm glad he did, because that's going to refresh my memory to see how long it takes to get in seconds from the Milton Madison Bridge on the Kentucky shoreline. Here the start-finish line buoy. Jimmy Shane, timing run here in the Goodman Real Estate, presents Miss Home Street. And Jordan, I get him there in 27 seconds. So when you're watching the races tomorrow live via H1 Unlimited on YouTube and listening to our call here along the shoreline, when we get to 27 seconds and those boats are at that Milton Madison Bridge on that Kentucky shoreline, you're in ideal positioning to nail a start.
Exactly, you are, and that's something that these drivers, I guarantee their crews, their spotters are all doing that right now, and they're working on it here as you see Jimmy Shane, again, take his foot off the accelerator a little bit, probably going to try to do some of the same stuff here as he gets ready to complete his second lap. Again, the third time that Jimmy Shane has been out here is actually cutting through the Grand Prix course here. We'll see if he's bringing it into the pit area or if he's going to have another run here. He's slowing down quite a bit. Looks like he may be bringing it into the pit area, Jeff Ayler.
6 H1 Unlimited Hydroplane teams will vie for tomorrow's oldest active motorsports trophy in the world, the APBA Gold Cup. And Jordan, it is a very competitive six-boat field. We've seen 5 of our H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes hit the water. Still waiting for the U9 Pinnacle Peak Consulting to take to the Ohio River here in testing. So Corey Peabody, I'm sure, would love to be out here, kind of get the edge off. Hopefully he'll get out here before we close for today, but he'll definitely be back out tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely he will. And, you know, Corey Peabody ran so well last week in Guntersville. He was the top qualifier, won that first race on Saturday against and outdueling J. Michael Kelly in that race, and also Andrew Tate as well. And then, you know, had some issues in his races on Sunday, including, you know, getting into the rooster tail of Andrew Tate a little bit. But then in the final heat, again, J. Michael Kelly timed his start perfectly, but Corey Peabody still coming away with the second place finish, so you know that boat's always going to be strong. Looking down here on the race course, looks like they are working on the Beacon Plumbing just a few feet away from us. Again, the Beacon Plumbing had issues getting onto the race course earlier. They were finally able to do it once they did some maneuvering underneath the hull, but it looks like they're still working on it a little bit here as Jimmy Shane exits the cockpit of the U1. Again, the final testing session today. We'll see if any more boats get out there. Again, likely qualifying and all the racing to be done tomorrow, Sunday, July the 4th. What a better day to spend your 4th of July than right here watching the fastest hydroplanes in the world, Jeff.
We got a fireworks show tonight. The barge will start making its way out here at 9:30. Right at 10 o'clock, that's when it starts.
It does, and if you have never been to these fireworks, Jeff, I've been many times. It is a special, special, special scene for the fireworks, and come down here. It's free. It's not there's
watch. They were scheduled already, lighted up.
I believe they were scheduled. The actually gates were scheduled to open 2 hours ago. I've not received any other update there. I'm sorry if I don't have their Facebook in front of me with everyone down here on the riverfront. It's kind of hard to get some signal right here. But again, that is going.
Here with Jimmy Shane. Jimmy, what does it mean to you to drive the Miss Madison in this big anniversary year?
You know, that's a big question to ask. Obviously, there's such a history and tradition here in this town, this small town of 14,000 wonderful people, and it's always been an honor, especially the last 8 years, to become the Miss Madison driver. You know, there is a lot of, I would say, added pressure, just because of everything that's happening this weekend. There's a lot of anniversaries that are on the line, and you know, we're here. We're gonna try to stay cool, calm, and collected, and we're just going to keep working throughout the weekend and make sure the boat's ready to go, make sure I'm ready to go, and I know the team's ready to go, so we're ready.
You only did a couple laps out there before coming in. What'd you see?
We are making adjustments to the boat. We really liked our first laps this morning. We didn't want to change too much, but we ended up wanting to just make a few adjustments to some settings, mostly on the engine. And we really just want to go out there and verify what our thoughts were on those changes. So we're going to look at the data right now. We're going to see if we need to rip the cowling off this thing. If there's time to run a few more laps, then Miss Madison will be on the water whenever she can.
Awesome. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Begin with, but right now, things look good going into tomorrow with the older hull.
Well, we're on a long-term strategy here. We've got a plan that we're trying to execute, and there's some good parts of the plan and bad parts of the plan, but irregardless, this is a long-term play for us. And quite frankly, I mean, what's wrong with this boat? I mean, it ran the fastest lap in Guntersville. Mm-hmm. It's the fastest lap so far here. So what the hell's wrong with this boat?
And my sources are telling me with Goodman Real Estate on it back here, I understand that Goodman Real Estate back out in the Pacific Northwest, they're kind of getting a little bit more itch for this sport.
Well, there's a real relationship between Goodman and Home Street, and so we're playing that. There's the two executives of both companies are good friends, and I've told the story to our team a number of times and others that have asked. It's a great rivalry between the two, and we're having some real fun with it, and hopefully that'll show on the race course, not only this year but next year. So who knows what 2022 will bring, but I expect both of our boats to be extremely fast.
Charlie Grooms with us, president of Miss Madison Incorporated. Thank you for stopping by. Good luck tomorrow. No pressure. Only 50 years ago, Gentleman Jim did it here.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having us. Thanks to the committee, and thanks for the fans to hang out. It's been good to see them react to the boat on the water, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the winner's circle tomorrow. And that's kind of where we're headed.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Charlie Grooms with Miss Madison. Thank you, Charlie, for stopping by, and they look confident.
Yes, they do, and no reason why they shouldn't be. I mean, that is a very, very fast boat. It has won multiple Gold Cups, multiple national championships, multiple Indiana Governor's Cups as well. And Jeff, there's something being lowered into the water, and that is your expertise right there, my friend.
Oh. The 1957 Henry Lauterbach built U-36 Miss US-4 is on the slings. It's heading to the water. Stock Allison power. Fans have seen it run here many times at the Madison Vintage Thunder event that will come up this September 18th and 19th right here on the Ohio River. And what a great way to end the day. We've had a wonderful afternoon since the river is open for hydroplane activity. Mark Weber will be in the cockpit for Jay Armstrong's boat. U-36 Miss US-4. Here we go.
Here we go, Jeff Haler. And I won't lie to you, when you said that we may be able to see the vintage boat, I got a little excited because, folks, if you are getting ready to potentially head home, do not. This is a treat to see a boat. This is, a boat with so much history in it. These are the boats, when Jim McCormick won back here in 1971, it was a boat like this that he wanted in. So, folks, we'll watch this. It's, a best way to close out the day is seeing the old-time boats here on the Ohio River. Again, Jeff, I am beyond excited to see what this bad boy can do.
flag displayed for Mark Weber. He'll accept it. I know he sees it.
Well, okay then.
I remember 5 of those. They'd thunder and rock and roll through here and light up the Ohio River Valley, and boy, it brings back so many memories.
I remember hearing stories from my dad, my grandparents. They said up on the hilltop, they said their windows would rattle when all those boats would be on the water. They said they'd listen and they'd said, well, racing's going on right now. I mean, those were loud, loud, loud. Unfortunately, before my time, but I can at least go back and watch video, which in fact, when I got home from the parade last night, Jeff, got on YouTube and watched coverage of the 1971 APBA Gold Cup won by Jim McCormick. Of course, a really, really special event. It's on YouTube. You can go watch it. Go watch to see what it was like, because let me tell you what, Regatta was very different looking back in 1971.
Do you know which last piston-powered unlimited hydroplane won the Indiana Governor's Cup here? Take your time. He's a thinking.
I am going to guess. I would guess Atlas, but Atlas was done in 1984.
Early 80s. Early 80s,
okay. I'm going to guess Atlas Van Lines.
Nope. 1983, Jim Cropfeld and the Dean Chenoweth Memorial Race and the Rolls-Royce Griffin-powered Miss Budweiser. Then in 1984, Atlas Van Lines was the first turbine unlimited hydroplane here to win in Madison with Chip Hanauer. So you were in the right ballpark. I'll give you that. You can still go to the concession stand.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, and you had told me Bill Muncy, who, of course, you know, one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest, was thinking about, you know, stepping away and wanted potentially Chip Hanauer to replace him in the Atlas Van Lines, which Bill Muncy as the guy in charge of a team, Chip Hanauer as the driver. I don't know who beats that team.
Muncy, of course, won all his races in piston-powered boats. Chip unique. He did win in the piston-powered boats and the turbine boats. Dave Villwalk, all his victory has been in the turbine-powered unlimited hydroplanes. So Chip's kind of got that feather in his cap, winning in both piston power and turbine power in unlimited hydroplane history. Dave Villwalk in the seat of the U40 Beacon Plumbing, the Tennessee orange and black with the yellow and white trim. And Jordan, we saw him earlier out here. Villwalk did a lap of 141.125 miles per hour, but no doubt there is plenty.
I got scared. Third one's rough.
What tape? Tape? Okay, Andrew, in the last heat, or in the last test session, you stopped your boat in the corner. What happened?
Turn one's pretty nasty. I got scared. Just decided I better shut it down and try again tomorrow.
So is the boat okay?
Boat's fine. Perfect.
Thank you, Andrew.
We had the second fastest lap, so that was good.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Emily.
Get that.
The APBA Gold Cup presented by Nucor of Madison. It sounds much better this time. It gets an easier light to the Lycoming turbine engine. The T55 generates 2,600 horsepower, and the all-time winningest driver in the sport of unlimited hydroplane racing with 67 wins enters the Super Shine Wild Bill Cantrell Memorial Racecourse. Villwalk finished third at last weekend's Southern Cup in Lake Guntersville, Alabama. Villwalk out of Monroe, Washington. The boat owners are Karen and Shelley Stockland out of Snohomish, Washington. We mentioned the sponsor, Bill Cahill, out of Seattle with Beacon Plumbing. Jordan, let's see what Villwalk does here to end the day.
Exactly. You know, looking right now on the backstretch with Villwalk, having some pretty good speed. You know, he's a master at timing, a master at finding that lane, and he's a master at messing with other drivers, getting in their head, because that's just what he does. And, you know, I was talking with Andrew Tate earlier in the day, and we said, you know, what makes Dave Villwalk so good, in addition to his pure driving skills, he does things to make it inconvenient for the other boats. So that is something Dave Villwalk's going to do, and he's going to practice it. And if he does do that, he may be hoisting his 11th Gold Cup tomorrow afternoon.
No doubt a tactician, strategist, Dave Villwalk. He's won a bunch of them, and he knows how to do it on the water, and also to kind of get under the skin of that competitor out on the water with him as well when they go racing. Villwalk through turn number 2, the Milton-Madison Bridge on the Indiana shoreline. We see if he gets on the throttle. And now picks it up Dave Villwalk out of Monroe, Washington in the U40. Miss Beacon Plumbing, Tennessee orange and black with the yellow and white trim, and he flies it across the start-finish line buoy. Dave Villwalk in the Beacon Plumbing. I love the little extra tail fin off the cowling. Little Formula One look. That was designed and inspired by the late Jeff Miner with help from Andrew 10-Speed Watto.
Oh, wow. And indeed, let me tell you what, he is picking up a lot of speed in that boat as Dave Villwalk, as he had a great turn there in turn number 1. He comes down the backstretch on the Trimble County side of the riverbanks. Villwalk heads toward the Milton-Madison Bridge, going to get a time and a qualifying speed here. Villwalk is a master technician at getting to the start line in time. That's a big rooster tail, Jeff Ayler, as he comes down.
Villwalk through turn number 2, keeping the throttle to the floorboard here. Testing only for H1 Unlimited. Villwalk underneath the Milton-Madison Bridge. We'll get a time for you. The U40, Miss Beacon Plumbing. Cross start finish line buoy. Looking good. As he enters turn number 1, we'll get a time. $147.700, 147,700. He's on it.
Oh my, he is on it, and he is picking up speed. He is driving fast. Again, so far Jimmy Shane's had the fastest speed today, but Dave Villwalk very, very close here in just his first lap of speed as he heads in to turn number 2. A big rooster tail coming down the front, Jeff Ayler.
Villwalk the first time around, we just mentioned 147.700, walks the boat side to side, and there's that flying attitude. Villwalk hanging out the Beacon Plumbing to dry, and he knows how to fly them, the best in the business. Lap number 2 and testing complete. We'll get a time. Can he get to 150? We'll see. $150.748 miles per hour. 150.748. 67 years old. Ha! He's tough.
Yeah, don't poke the angry bear, and he can be an angry bear if you make him mad, and he is showing why. Again, he still got it. Great speed in the Beacon Plumbing, a boat that did not run in 2019, so it really hasn't seen any significant competition in a couple of years. So Dave Villwalk again coming into the entrance pit of turn number 2. Jeff, he's lost a lot of speed. Will he do one more for a time? It looks like he might.
I started my timing clock watch on him right there at the entrance pin of turn number 2, coming down here to the start-finish line. We'll see how long it takes in seconds from point A to point B. Memory bank telling me, Jordan, about 23, 24 seconds. Villwalk coming by the start-finish line, and he loves flying this boat. 26 seconds from the entrance pin to turn number 2, the start-finish line buoy. working through turn number 1. We're watching our beautiful drone work in turn number 1 through H1 Unlimited at YouTube, and he swings it way outside.
So Dave Villwalk, again, coming down the back stretch now. Again, several laps run. Nice for him to get another testing session in. Good that his boat started right up, too, after he had some issues starting it earlier in the day during a testing period. Looks like Dave Villwalk might, let's see, will he cut the Grand Prix course? No, he's going to go down again. Maybe he's going to do one more test speed there as he heads for the Madison Bridge. Again, trying to mark those timings there because that is huge. You do not want to jump the gun. You want it to hit 0 right before you hit the start-finish line. That's something J. Michael Kelly did so well last week in the Southern Cup. Can he do it again this week, Jeff?
Up in turn number 2, you see not quite up to top speed, swinging it way outside. I'll go ahead and put the watch on him right there off the exit pin of turn number 2, but not quite the speed as it was the last time coming down here the start-finish line, but it appears that he's going to point the nose of the U40 back to the pit dock, but 150.748, they're in the mix.
So there you have it. Dave Villwalk in the 40 Beacon Plumbing as he brings it into the pit area now. Again, a very, very impressive showing for Dave Villwalk in the U40 Beacon Plumbing, looking for victory number 68, the most all-time, looking for his 11th Gold Cup, which would tie him for Chip Hanauer for most of all time. If he keeps that boat going this weekend, I think he'll be right up there in the front with the best of them.
Beautiful boat, paint scheme, created, designed by Eddie Canfouche. Of course, Eddie is here this weekend with the Bucket List Racing team. Eddie, a 2-time E-League winner with H1 Unlimited, dynamite pilot with the computer, but getting a taste and a flavor of what it's like being actually on a team with the H1 Unlimited Hydroplane series with the U40 Beacon Plumbing. So, Jordan, our top speed we saw in testing was Jimmy Shane in the U1. Goodman Real Estate presents Miss Home Street at 151.660 miles per hour. Villwalk was second quick, we just witnessed, at 150.748 miles per hour. And then we look to the number 8 boat, the number 12 boat of Graham Trucking, Andrew Tate, 148.460 miles per hour. Then we'll go to the U8 Miss Tri-Cities with J. Michael Kelly at 146.649, and Jamie Nielsen in the J&Ds at 144.448 miles per hour. We did not see an appearance today in testing from Corey Peabody in the U9, Pinnacle Peak Consulting. So, Jordan, in our testing session, just a difference of 7 miles per hour between those 5 boats, and I think a couple of those on the lower end of the ladder has got some more stuff in them.
They do, and I think a lot of those boats have more speed to them. So I think if you want to see a lot of boat speed, I think you're going to be very, very well, you'll be in for a nice surprise tomorrow because these boats can all drive. Again, with testing, it's not just about speed. It's about timing. It's about getting familiar with the race course. What lane do you want to be in? Because you have someone like J. Michael Kelly who loves the inside lane, but you may have someone else who likes lane 2 or 3 because maybe that's where the smoother water is. You just don't know. So that is why that is here. Again, testing is... I don't see any other boats getting ready to get on the water, so Beacon Plumbing, that could be our last testing boat of the day. We are still trying to find out what exactly is going to happen tomorrow. When we find out that information, we'll pass that along to you. So stay with us, folks. When we find out more information about tomorrow, Jeff and I will be right back with you. But again, for now, just sit for a minute, and once we find out again what is going to happen tomorrow, we'll be right back with you.